Hey guys, this is Rattata4Uber, and I got another Wi-Fi battle for you guys against a little-known YouTuber named Wilechase. He was live streaming, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Won the PM game, and I got a battle against him. So he leads off with his metagross, and I lead off with my mod champ. So I go for the substitute, predicting him to go for a stealth rock, but he ends up going with the earthquake instead. So I was like, whoa, I better do something. So I try to get some damage on him, get the dynamic punch, get them confused, but the Lumberry activates, and yeah, so he goes for a bullet punch. As I go for another dynamic punch, and Machamp is gone. Okay, then I send in my Bronzong. So he goes for rocks as I go for hypnosis. Hypnosis misses, but it's my luck, and so he goes for another mash, and he crits. And I was like, ah, wow. So now I go for my rocks, try to get it up because I might need it for this match. And then he goes for another mash, and I'm like, okay, so another crit and the attack rise, and I was like, oh man, I gotta think of something. He might sweep my whole team with this. He goes for the mash, kills off Liberty, and I'm down already 6-4. Not really good. So I send him my Zapdos, trying to think, okay, what can I do? So I go for the substitute, my sub roost Zapdos, and he goes for the mash, and it breaks my sub. So right here I'm trying to think, what can I do? So I just go, I gotta get some damage on this thing. So I go for the T-Bolt, go for it. I'm praying for like a paralyze hacks or something, and I get the para hacks, but it in the end doesn't do anything for me right now. So he goes for the mash, brings me down to about 37 HP, and he gets another attack raise. So at this point I'm like, I don't care what happens. Go for the bullet punch. I gotta think something, and I'm already down 6-3, which really isn't that good. So I go for the Kingdra. I go with my Kingdra. Instead of Dragon Dancing, I go straight for the Waterfall, and takes him out. Now I probably could have gone for a substitute, try to get a Dragon Dance off, hope for a Parahax, but I wanted to kill that thing now. He sends in his Flygon, I predict the U-turn, and I send in my Sizor. He went for the Sizor, the U-turn like I thought, and he goes out. He gets the switch advantage. He sends in his Rotom, and I'm like, man, I can't do anything to this. I got 3 pokes. He's down to scores 5-3. So what can I do? He goes for the Will-O-Wisp as I go for a Swords Dance. So that really doesn't do anything for me. So at this point I'm like, okay, I got a burnt Sizor, which really doesn't do anything for me. And I just gotta, let Kamari die. He goes for the T-Bolt. I got off a Bug Bite, just try to get some damage on this Rotom. And I know another T-Bolt's gonna take me out, so I go for Bullet Punch, I believe. After all this little, stalling part. Yeah, I go for the Bullet Punch. And another T-Bolt takes me out. So things are definitely not going good for me. Useless crit. Okay, so I send in my Starmie. I'm thinking I got a plan here. Go for the Hydro Pump with my Spec Starmie. Go for the Hydro Pump. I know it's gonna OHKO Rotom, and I'm doing okay. 4-2. He sends in his Starmie. So I'm like, okay, I switch out and go into my Kingdra, expecting the Thunderbolt, and I know I can take at least one Thunderbolt. And let me see, yeah, take it, I guess decently. A little under half. Leftovers bring me above half again. I go for a T-Bolt. I know I can survive it, and I go for a Dragon Dance. No, I guess I went for the Outrage. Huh. This was a while back. Sorry. I go for the Outrage, and he just barely survives. And gets his lefties, I whip my lefties. And he goes for the T-Bolt, and I'm like, ah, man, I lost this. And survive with 3 HP. And I get off an Outrage, and I take out his Starmie. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm down now 3-2. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm confused now. He sends in his Flygon. Nothing I can do, so he goes U-turn. He takes out my Kingdra, unfortunately. And he sends out Infernape. And I'm like, Infernape, what can I do? What can I do? He's got Flygon, Infernape, and something else I haven't seen. So I go for the Hydro Pump, stab, everything. He goes for a Mach Punch, which I'm like, Mach punch, why? I did the damage calcs. I'm like, Flygon could take me out with a U-turn or an outrage easily. And it coming towards this end of this battle, unfortunately, he gets the outrage, and it's gonna take Starmie out. Anyways, it was a good game, Wilechase. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.